here. It says Vance Boelter, age 57, has proven that the Democratic Party is a cult. Meet Vance Boelter. Bowler was a Tim Walz appointee to one of the governor's boards. What a shock. So this looks to be connected to the No Kings movement in what way exactly? Because he has flyers in his car? Crazy things are happening in America right now after two Democrat lawmakers, a husband and wife, were just made unalive in Minnesota by a crazy person named Vance Boelter. He is 57 years old and is reported to be a Democrat with connections to Tim Walz. Apparently, he impersonated a police officer and had a police car that he used to gain access to his victims. A third lawmaker is also in hospital with his wife after undergoing surgery. Let's go to Twitter and see what people are saying about him before I show you some newsreel. Here's what CNN is reporting. Manhunt underway after Minnesota Democratic House leader killed in politically motivated attack. What we know, lawmaker killed. Minnesota State Representative Melissa Hoffman, the top Democrat in the Minnesota House, and her husband were shot and killed early this morning in what appears to be a politically motivated assassination, according to Governor Tim Walz. Second, targeted. Minnesota State Senator John Hoffman and his wife were also shot by the same individual, Walz said. They have undergone surgery and are alive. The suspect, two law enforcement officials told CNN, the suspect is Vance Boelter, a 57-year-old who works for a security company. A hit list with nearly 70 names, including other lawmakers and abortion providers, was also found in the suspect's car, according to a law enforcement source. The suspect at large, after fleeing on foot, and a massive manhunt is underway, officials said at the news conference. The Brooklyn Park Police Department has issued a shelter-in-place order in a 3-mile radius of Edinburgh Golf Course, according to city officials. Now, this is just from a few minutes ago. It says, investigators still exploring if victims and suspect knew each other. Investigators said they're still determining whether the victims of Saturday shootings and suspect Vance Boelter knew each other. We are still exploring that, Drew Evans, the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehensions superintendent, said in a news conference Saturday afternoon. There's certainly some overlap with some public meetings, I will say, with Senator Hoffman and the individual, but we don't know the nature of the relationship or if they knew each other. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they just attended meetings together and they're both representatives in Parliament and they don't know each other. Okay, so let's find more about this. Officials still working to determine suspect's motivation. Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension Superintendent Drew Evans said authorities are working diligently on what officials are calling a manifesto found in the suspect's car to determine if it indicates his motivation. This is a very active and fluid investigation throughout the day, as you've been waiting and as these teams have been working out in the field and they have been gathering more documents and information. So it would be premature for me at this point to say really exactly what the motivation might be for these writings, and we will certainly be continuing to work on that and provide that information when we're able, he said. All right, let's go on Twitter and learn a little more about Vance Boelter. Okay, let's see here. It says, Vance Boelter, age 57, has proven that the Democratic Party is a cult. When their fellow Democrats don't walk the line and vote the way they demand they do, yeah, okay, you see that. Let's see what it says. Vance Boelter, EDD, CEO, Red Lion Group. Dr. Vance Boelter, EDD, is CEO of Red Lion Group, based in the Democratic Republic of Congo. He is also CEO of Praetorian Guard Security Services, based in Minnesota. Dr. Boelter majored in international relations for his undergraduate degree at St. Cloud State University in Minnesota. He holds the Master of Science in Management degree and doctorate in leadership for the advancement of learning and service, whatever that means, from Cardinal Strick University in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let's read that again. Doctorate in leadership for the advancement of learning and service? Huh? Okay. I don't even know, like, what? Okay. Dr. Boelter has worked full-time for some of the largest companies in their field, such as Nestle, Del Monte, Tesoro, Marathon, whatever. Worked in operations, technical services, quality services. Okay, so that's like his lame resume. Okay. And then, what else do you? So that's what he looks like. You know. Come on, you got no more. Wait, he was unemployed? unemployed with dark history in East Africa, doing economic development, involved with security situations in Eastern Europe, Africa, North America, and the Middle East, including the West Bank, South. Oh, nice. He's been to Gaza too. Apparently, let's see here. Dr. Vance Boelter has been involved with security situations in East Europe. Oh yeah, it even says Gaza Strip. Nice, nice, nice. Ballin', ballin'. Okay, let's see what else we can find. Anything else? Meet Vance Boelter. Bowler was a Tim Walz appointee to one of the governor's boards. What a shock. He's connected to Tim Walz. Breaking. Suspect in the shooting of two Minnesota state lawmakers is Vance Luther Boelter, 57. Police sources tell blah, blah, blah. It appears it is the same Boelter who was appointed to the governor's workforce development board in 2019 by Governor Tim Walz. He appointed to the Governor's Workforce Development Council in 2016 by then Governor Mark. Whatever that was. Probably Clayton or Layton or something. Dayton. Okay, so that's him. He's a weirdo with really strange, dark history of doing security services in really messed up places where you have to do really bad things as security services. Good stuff. All right, let's watch some more CNN reports. No King protest in Minnesota canceled as authorities search for suspect in shooting of two state lawmakers. No King's organizers announced that all of the protests across Minnesota are canceled after two state lawmakers and their spouses were shot early Saturday. State Patrol Colonel? Yeah, I think that's Colonel. Colonel Christina Bogojevic asked people out of an abundance of caution not to attend any of the No Kings protests that were scheduled for across the state on Saturday. Bogojevic said authorities didn't have any direct evidence that the protests would be targeted, but said the suspect had some No Kings flyers in their car. Yeah, that was me being a little silly. That's a constable, I think. I don't know why I was thinking in military terms. Police found a hit list in suspect's car with nearly 70 different targets, including abortion providers. Law enforcement found a hit list in the Minnesota suspect's car that contained nearly 70 names, a law enforcement official said on the matter, told CNN. The names include abortion providers, pro-abortion rights advocates, and lawmakers in Minnesota and other states. The official added, law enforcement also found a Father's Day gift card addressed to the suspect in a bag full of ammunition, the official said. A second official briefed on the case echoed the targeting of abortion providers to CNN's David Librand. No King's flyers found in Minnesota shooting suspect's car, according to officials. The Minnesota State Patrol posted a photo of No King's flyers found inside the car of the suspect. State Patrol Colonel Christina Bogojevic said early Saturday there were some flyers that said No Kings within the suspect's vehicle. Officials are asking the public to not attend demonstrations planned throughout the state today out of an abundance of caution. Interesting. So this looks to be connected to the No Kings movement in what way exactly? Because he has flyers in his car? Okay, so let's look into this. I know that this was a protest that was going on in Minnesota and that it was connected to the heiress of the Walmart fortune. So we can look at that really briefly. Let's see what Twitter is saying about it, I guess. That's a good place to start. Let's start with Representative Anna Paulina Luna. Walmart heiress Christy Walton is funding full-page color ads in the New York Times for No King's Day, a nationwide counter-protest scheduled for Trump's birthday, organized by far-left group Indivisible. Looks like the Walmart dynasty is big mad about China tariffs. And it says No Kings, June 14, mobilize. And then I think it has a whole bunch of places where it wants you to mobilize. Okay. And then there's a good one from Laura Loomer. Here, it says Scoop. And then, when is this one from? This is, it's already old. But anyways, it says, Walmart to release a statement tonight condemning violence after Walmart heiress Christy Walton took out an ad promoting the June 14th anti-Trump No Kings protest in the New York Times. I was able to get to this ad that was published by Walmart heiress Christy Walton in front of Walmart executives today. I explained to them and their representatives they need to condemn the actions of Christy and her ad that is promoting radical leftist protests in the U.S. by inciting violence against Donald Trump. At Walmart, we'll be releasing the statement below in the next hour. I've been given this statement ahead of time by Walmart executives. Walmart's statement: we condemn violence, including when it's directed toward law enforcement and the damaging of property. As a company with associates and customers in the Los Angeles region, we remain focused on their safety and that of impacted associates The advertisements from Christy Walton are in no way connected or endorsed by Walmart. She does not serve on the board or play any role in decision making at Walmart. I'd like to add that Walmart was very receptive when their executives were contacted with my concerns and they didn't push back when I said a statement would need to be made today. I am glad Walmart took this opportunity to distance themselves from Christy Walton's anti-Trump multi-city ad and to condemn political violence. And then again, it has mobilized, and then it probably has like every progressive crap hole in the entire U.S. And then, and then we have Anna Paulina's right under that. Okay, let's watch some newsreel that actually goes over the incident today.
Today, we are asking for the public's help at this point in time in locating Vance Boelter, who is a 57-year-old white male who is 6 feet 1 inches tall, 220 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. I know this name has been reported in the media so far, and we are confirming he's a person of interest that we are looking to locate in relation to this. At this time, we would ask the public, if you do locate him or see him, to call 911. Do not approach him. You should consider him armed and dangerous, and you should call 911 immediately with the information. He was seen this morning wearing light-colored cowboy hat that you can see up here in the clothing there, with dark-colored long-sleeve collared shirt or coat, light pants, and carrying a dark bag. If you have any tips about the whereabouts or any information that would be helpful, you can call local police department, or you can call our BCA tip line at 877-996-6222, or email us at bca.tips@state.mn.us. We still don't know if additional people are involved, but this individual is the one that we're looking as a person of interest right now, but there may be other people with him, and we would like to speak to anybody that may have had contact with him at any point in time. So please connect with us, even if this has been some time ago today, so that we can follow up and continue to work together to keep our communities safe. And we, as the commissioner noted, we'll take some questions at the end, but again, we are seeking the assistance of the public in locating him. I want to continue to say, as you see, there's hundreds of law enforcement officers working on this right now for the partners that you see up here today, as well from Champlin, Brooklyn Park, the State Patrol, Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, FBI, ATF, just a myriad of partners working to try to locate this individual. And with that, I will turn it over to the mayor, and we'll answer questions at the end.
While all this is going on, there's also a war brewing in the Middle East between Israel and Iran. Now, I'm going to save that for the next video. And to finish this one off, obviously I'm rooting for Israel, duh. So in the next video, you have to be crazy to root for Iran. You really have to be crazy. You have to be a crazy person to be in a Western country and be rooting for the Iranian Ayatollahs to continue persecuting the people of Iran who really hate the regime. Most of them do not like it. They just want to make sure that we don't come in there and rule over them, and that they still have a future for themselves that isn't dictated by us. Anyways, the other thing that I really wanted to talk about was how Keir Starmer has launched an investigation into the grooming gang scandal. You are no longer a right-wing Yahtzee just because you think this is an important subject to go over. Funny that this coincides exactly when Robert Jendrick dropped this video.
About who's committing crime in our country. Indicative data suggests that Afghan and Eritrean nationals are 20 times more likely to be convicted of a sexual offence than a British citizen, that Congolese nationals are almost 12 times more likely to be convicted of a violent crime.
Here is a quick article from MSN, so you know it's not like Brock's propaganda. Keir Starmer orders full-scale national inquiry into grooming gang abuse scandal after months of refusing to act. Sir Keir Starmer has ordered a full-scale national inquiry into the gang scandal. GB News can disclose. The Prime Minister said that he had decided to accept a recommendation from Baroness Casey of Blackstock, who was asked to carry out a national audit by the government earlier this year. Starmer said that the inquiry will be statutory, which means that it will have powers to compel witnesses to give evidence and is independent of government. So we can see from this that Starmer has gone back on his word and is effectively caving into all of the pressure that shows him what a horrible person he is, especially when he used to be the chief prosecutor of Britain and is more than aware of these demographics. People like to complain about Zionists, but I don't see many Herschels and Mendels pimping out women, okay? Even when I was a bad boy, I wouldn't do things like that because I knew better, okay? If I broke into your house, it was probably to get a cup of water. because I was dying of thirst somewhere and you weren't home and nobody was home and your home was like in the middle of nowhere. And yes, that happened once. So I will see you guys in the next video. I hope we learned something today.